Excuse me. So music was honestly something I've been very passionate about even since a little kid. Um, but it wasn't until I was about 13, 14 that I discovered actually writing, like writing lyrics and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been at this for a minute.
Okay, shout out. I'm going to start with the intro, then I'm going to have you introduce yourself to
Yes,
the
sir.
audience.
Perfect.
Um, you ready at this moment?
Yeah, well, I'm ready to rock and
All
roll,
right,
man.
all right, let's go. Hello, lads and gents. This is your man over Mustang, and you're tuned into Origins, your friendly local hub podcast show. Today we got electrifying interview lineup that's going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the world of music, culture, and creativity. With a guest who's about to drop some serious wisdom, so get ready to vibe with us because we're about to bring the heat. Celebrating underground artists and the power of music. Stay tuned. It's about to get real. Go ahead, take the floor.
All right. I can
Go ahead,
introduce.
introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah.
bad. My bad. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody tuned in to Aura's podcast. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Jules, straight out of Point Siena, Florida, and I'm just an artist that enjoys creating content, enjoys creating music for people to relate to, vibe to, laugh to, think to, everything in between, and I got a passion for Dragon Ball, and that's kind of what's been helping me out here lately. So I'm excited to be here. Or again, appreciate you for the time. Appreciate you for the platform, and I can't wait to see what this interview finna be about.
Right back at you. And this interview is actually about you. So, please tell us, how your origin all started.
Well, I was born in New York, 1991. Moved to Florida when I was around 3 or 4. So I've been raised in Florida. Most people call me a Floridian, but my household was very New York. You know what I mean? So that's why my lingo tends to be a mix of New York and Southern slang because I'm just a product of my environment. And just growing up here, just learning the culture and moving with it, it definitely influences my music a lot. So being able to kind of showcase a bit of both worlds, a bit of a New York flavor with some down south vibes, I feel like it definitely puts me in a nice creative mix when it comes to my music. So I've been making music since I would say about 15 years old. That's how you know I'm getting older. That the fact that I can't even almost remember it. You know what I mean? But music has been very passion, like a very huge passion of mine. Hip hop, lyrics. I come from the origins of bars, where bars matter. What you say matters. How you say it matters. So I'm just a student of hip hop, always and forever.
Shout out to you. And by not only being, interest in music, pursuing it for since you said you was like 15,
Hmm.
right? I'm curious, what sparked your interest to pursue music, and did you have another passion, or was your first and only passion was music?
Well, my first passion was actually basketball. I wanted to,
Mm.
you know, like almost a lot of kids, at that time, just wanted to make it to the NBA. But once I hit about high school and I started picking up writing a little bit more and rapping it to my classmates and they were digging it, they were liking it. I just kind of thought to myself, oh, maybe music could be my thing. And ever since then, I have not looked back at all. No regrets in life choice. It's really creating the music that people can relate to and vibe out to and tell me the things that they say, like I really relate to this bar, or I like the story you told on this song. And I think I'm more so after the respect than anything else, really. The fame would be cool, popularity is cool, but I'm more so a quiet guy. I stay to myself a lot. It's just more so giving people good quality content, good quality music, something worth listening to rather than just kind of like breeze by it. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you. And I'm curious, has your music changed during since you was 15?
Oh, absolutely.
How would you describe that
Absolutely.
journey of
Um,
discovering your sound?
just really taking the time to grow within myself. Like a lot of other artists that start out, we copy our favorite artists. We mimic their flows, mimic their content. I mean, if if you were to hear my first couple of songs, you would almost think to yourself, "Man, what are you talking about? You don't do none of that." You know what I mean? And just after growing in through life and just getting older and wiser and just learning life, the content definitely changes. And the sound definitely changed with me as well. I could definitely say from 15 years old to 20 years old to 25 years old, I feel like I've reached different eras of sounds and different eras of lyrical content. And even currently, I feel like I'm going through like an evolution of my sound, because I never try to make any project that I put out sound like the last project. I thrive for growth. I'm thirsty for growth. I never want to be settled. I never want to feel like I hit a prime, because a prime just means the only place to go is down from there. And me, I just
Mm.
constantly want to go up. I just constantly want to grow. I constantly want to put out better music throughout the years. So I could definitely say that my sound, my lyrics, my beat choices, they've evolved
Mm.
constantly throughout the years.
No, I respect that. And when you say, hitting your prime is only going down from there, I thought about Kanye because he been yelling, I'm a god.
Oh man, Kanye, man, shout outs, God, it's tough. It's tough being a
So
Kanye
I
fan.
guess I guess you are right. It's only, the fall of that grace.
Exactly.
Uh, but bringing this back to you, uh, I'm curious, how will you describe yourself, and what genre do you feel like better represent your music?
I would definitely say the core essence of hip hop. Again, I come from an era of hip hop where bars mattered before anything else. What you're saying matters. And as I've gotten older, I start to think about, the kids. I think about my peers that have kids, my peers that enjoy my music, that also have kids that want to share it to them. I think about them. What am I saying to the youth now? Before, when I was 18, 19, 20, I would say whatever came to mind. And as I've gotten older and as I've witnessed life, I think about, what am I actually saying now to people that are listening to me, and what are they getting from me? Are they getting some type of positive vibe? Are they getting negative vibes? Am I potentially influencing someone to do right, to do wrong, to do better, to do worse? So my music really comes from a place of core hip hop where MCing matters, moving the crowd. I want to move the crowd. I want to move the people that listen to me. I want people to be able to walk away with something from listening to my music, rather than just, okay, yeah, that was a cool song, or yeah, he's all right, this, that, and the third. So as long as my music does something at least positive for somebody, help them get through a dark time, or even help them enjoy regular daily life, just bumping my songs down the highway or something, just as long as there's taking something out from my music, then I feel like I've accomplished my mission as an artist and as a musician.
I respect that. And as an artist, what is your biggest strength and weakness?
My biggest strength, I personally feel like, is beat selection. A lot of my songs start from the beat. I gotta gravitate to it. I need something to really just scream out to me, because then the subject matter kind of flows after, once I find the beat. I've never really had anyone complain too much about the beats. Not that I've never, heard any, feedback on the beat choices, but more often than not, I definitely get good feedback on my beat choices. So I'm confident in the beats that I select for my music. But my weakness, this one's actually easy. It's hooks. Hooks
Mm.
is, and it's funny because that's one of, if not the most important part of songs. That's usually the part of the song that brings people back. The sing along vibes or whatever. But
Mm.
I would say over the past 5 years, 5 6 years, I've put more emphasis on working on my hook game. So I'm more confident in it, but to isolate it, I still feel like writing hooks might still be just the lowest part of the weakest part of my bag. I can humbly admit that.
Okay, I respect that. And when it comes to the beat selection, when you feel like you get a lot of good feedback, is it just simply the beat that you select the beat on, or is the way how you emerge beats for your lyrics, etc.
I feel like it's a mix of both. Because I know people nowadays look for something that can honestly be played more so in the car, something that knocks, something that really gravitates. I tend to think about the people that, you know, probably just be in their room, maybe got some headphones on, just chilling, laying down, thinking about life. Those type of beats are the ones that really pull me the most. And if I had to at least compare it to an artist for a little more of a view on it, I would say beats that people could hear Drake on. Those beats are just they're just smooth, chill, smooth beats, close to like a lo-fi vibe. Excuse me. I feel like I feel like like I said, I have a good ear for those type of beats that I could just kind of flow on, talk my stuff, even like J. Cole beats, stuff like that.
Okay. And do you have an example for the audience, in your opinion, is like the best example of that, of your beat selection? Do you have a song particular in mind out of
From
your catalog?
out of my catalog, oh yeah, for sure. I had just recently put out a project. It's available only on my YouTube at the moment, but the project is called "And This Is Just a Mixtape 2." And a lot of those beats, I was really going for that, that lo-fi Drake type vibe that again it just kind of reels you in a little bit until I actually hop on and just talk my stuff and try to give something for the people to relate to. So in terms of songs, I have this song called Opportunity Knockin'. I feel like it's just a beat. It was just a beat that I was able to just talk my stuff and really be able to talk to the people and give them a perspective and a deeper view into like my mind and really try to give them something to relate to.
I respect it. And when it came to the hooks, I'm curious, do you have a particular hook that you're proud of? And do you have a hook that you done and you feel like, you could have did better?
Yeah, there's plenty of those, plenty of those. In terms of being proud of, yeah, yeah, I got a couple of songs in my recent project that I feel like I did that. Like when you know a weakest part of your bag and you really you really feel like you outdid yourself on it. Yeah, for sure. I have a song called On Top. I have a song called Talk It Out. I have a song called One Time that all those records I was able to kind of tap into a different side of my hook game. I've added a little more. I don't want to say singing because I feel like that's disrespectful to the people that sing. I would put more. I would say more
Character?
melodic. Yeah, I would say I'm more
Mm,
melodic now. I've added a um
okay.
like a melodic bag for me. I feel like I finally was able to find that. But certain hooks, yeah, there are definitely songs where hooks where I feel where I'll listen back to it and I'm like, maybe I should have said this or maybe I should have said it this way. Maybe I should have said it a little higher, a little lower. So, my hook game is still something I'm working on, still something I'm improving because like I said, I'm never satisfied with where my skills are. I'm never satisfied where my talent is. I'm never satisfied where my writing game is. I'm constantly looking for ways to improve, constantly looking for inspiration from whether it's the hip hop genre or even other genres. Just I just want to improve every aspect of my bag because it only makes it better for the listeners. It makes me happier as an artist, and it makes the listeners just happier in terms of getting those songs.
Shout out to you. I respect that. And my last question before we move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Uh, Remind me again. So the genre that you feel like that represent you most is hip hop. Just it.
Uh, well, when I first really like, as I was getting older and kind of understanding more of what music is and just listening more to music, I actually gravitated towards rock a little bit. You know, like the Linkin Parks
Okay.
of the world. That was really the genre of music that pulled me at first, but I actually remember it was the game, Hate It or Love It, and How We Do. Those two hip hop songs, that's what
Mm.
that's what kind of opened my eyes a little bit and made me go, "Hey, wait a minute. I like this." You know what I mean? Like I like how this sounds. I like the vibe, and those two songs were that's what knocked down the door for me. That's when I started to explore more. That's when I started to learn more so about Eminem, The Game, 50 Cent, younger Kanye, Jay Z. So I didn't really get into hip hop till about, I would say, sixth grade. Sixth grade, and I was maybe like 12 years old around that time.
Okay.
So
Shout out. So when it comes to your music, uh, the genre that represent your music would be hip hop, rock.
yeah, there's a little bit of rock influence in some of the songs I've made. Pop as well, because
Pop.
pop is always going to be pop. And I remember listening to NSYNC growing up, Backstreet Boys growing up. Obviously, the king of pop, Michael Jackson. So even to this day, like, I still draw from Michael Jackson in terms of inspiration. So his ad libs are slowly starting to kind of creep into my music, like the ah,
Mm.
the like those type of vibes, and just the way his voice was an instrument within itself, and the way he used it is just, how could you not be inspired by it? So I don't wanna lock my influence strictly to hip hop, but a majority of the influence, yes, definitely comes from hip hop.
Oh, so what I'm asking is like, if you were to put your music in character, where would your music,
Oh, like where
as in,
like where would I categorize it more, and what type of genre?
yeah,
Oh yeah, then definitely hip hop.
okay,
That's the core foundation. I think about the hip hop heads, the old heads, and while also considering the new generation, the new sound, the new wave. It's kind of hard to please both sides. I try to find a common ground for all different variety of hip hop fans, whether it's the current gen or even the older gen, my generation, if you want to call it that. I try to find the common ground. I try to bridge the gap between both sides.
okay. And when it comes to genre, to the audience, what particular genre that we could see you tapping into in the near future, and what genre we possibly would never see you tap
That's a great question. I've always wanted to, and this idea has been going on for almost a decade. I've always wanted to make an R&B joint, something more, more so on the R&B side. And again, I don't want to say I sing. I'll never say I sing. That's disrespectful to the people that actually do this. But an R&B album would be fun for me. I feel like I would have the most fun being able to show like a more vulnerable side and a more lovey-dovey side, and kind of bring back the old school R&B vibe with mixing it with the new sound. But a sound I could probably see myself never tapping into. I don't want to say never, because that kind of limits myself. But if I had to say a genre that I'm least pursuant of, I would have to say country music. No disrespect to country
country.
music, because I know it gets some flack from the common listener. I respect country music, but I just don't see myself really being able to do it justice.
Okay, I respect. Okay. Now, as a songwriter.
Mm.
Um, are you willing to write for other people?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I I actually love working with other people and doing stuff for them. I try to tap into their overall vibe. Once I kick it with them, maybe have a couple of conversations with them, hear their songs. I try to stay within their ballpark, within their range, and writing for other people, I definitely would, whether it's ghostwriting or just co-writing. Um, but collaborations with other people and writing, hell yeah, I would absolutely love to work for like other people that just might need help. You know, maybe getting a good
Now,
verse down.
okay. Now, is there a certain limitation when it comes to like songwriting for other people, or are you able to, jump into any genre of artists that, let's say like country or whatever?
That's the funny part. I feel like I could write for almost any genre. Again, as long as I just kind of understand who I'm writing for, what the content is about, because again, even though I'm writing it for someone else, I'm also thinking about kind of what I said for my music. What am I helping give to the people? So I wouldn't want to really join on a project that's promoting some type of vibe that isn't within my comfort zones or something that gives me peace. But I definitely could see myself writing for maybe a country artist, a pop artist, R&B artist, even rock. As long as I'm able to really understand their vibe and sync up with their sound, yeah, I could see myself writing for any genre.
Okay. Out of your catalog, what was the most out of your out of your catalog, which song was the most challenging for you complete?
Um, actually, damn, one song actually just popped right into my head. There was a song on my 2011 mixtape, and this is all on YouTube. It's called Glorification 4. There was a song called The Devil's Playground, and at that time it was a rough patch in life. Definitely was going through some things, uh, involved with some fiascos with a certain group of people, and recording the second verse was probably the toughest because I actually kept the take because I just felt the authenticity of it. But I remember recording that verse and just finally saying what I wrote out loud. Like the emotions just kind of hit you, and I just remembered honestly like breaking down halfway through recording that verse, and I was able to complete the verse, and the take was just so raw that I was like, I will not be able to record this exact verse again, because if I try to just mimic what I just recorded, it the authenticity is lost. Now I'm acting it, whereas this one take was raw, authentic, real, no fabrication. So I kept that take, and just kind of going through the rest of that recording process was just kind of tough because again, emotions were high. Uh, I was going through a dark phase at that time in my life and just navigating, trying to find myself at that time. So yeah, there's definitely been songs where it's tough to really put from paper to sound, but that verse on that song was it was real. It was honest.
Shout out. And what's your skill set? We know you for being a bit of an artist, um, producer as well.
Uh, nah, that's. I wish, I
Okay.
wish, I wish I was able to make beats. I feel like that's one of the few things that I can't really do music wise. I could have the sounds in my head and the ideas in my head, but translating it from my mind into the program, whether it's FL Studios or anywhere that you know can create instrumentals. Man, it looks like rocket science to me. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I try to put down a simple drum pattern, and I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know.
Mm,
So I wish I could produce. I wish I could join the J. Coles of the world, the Eminems of the world, the Kanyes of the world that can make their own beat and rap on it. I feel like that's just a level of talent that is just above and beyond even artists like myself that are confident within their own skills.
no. So what is your skill set, if you don't mind, tell
I would definitely say writing. Lyricism is something I take pride in. I, I feel like I'm constantly trying to write the greatest verse ever that I'll never write, if that makes sense. I'm constantly trying to write the best verse ever, but I constantly feel like I can't. And in a way, I feel like that's better off for me because if I ever do write or record the greatest verse ever for me, then what's next for me? You know what I mean? It kind of goes back to the whole hitting your prime thing, and then once you hit your prime, that's it. It's either you just plateau or you just start to decline, and I just don't want that for my music. So I chase that. I chase that idea of write the greatest verse ever, even though you feel like you'll never write it. I hope that makes
me.
sense. I hope that makes sense.
Is it is it in the sense like you may not never write or you hope never write it?
That's a great question. It kind of both. I kind of hope I never write the greatest verse, so that way I can constantly push myself to get better to try to write it. But then I don't want to write it. It's like a weird. What's the word? It's almost hypocritical within its own self, but I use that to just continue to motivate me and push me to just improve, write better, create better lyrics, create better sounds for people to relate to and enjoy and vibe out to. So I would love
Mm.
to try to write the greatest verse while at the same time I hope I never do. So that way I can keep chasing that.
And how will you know you wrote the greatest verse? Like, would it be the audience feedback, or would it be at that moment when you finish that line, or
I think it would be a reflection within myself. I feel like even though some people to this day that might say, hey, this is your best verse ever on whatever song I've already put out, I feel like it would really be a one-on-one moment with me and myself. Just the moment where I say, this was it. This was the verse you've been chasing for. I feel like if I ever feel that, if I ever have that conversation with myself, then yeah, I did it. But in 33 years of living, 15, 16 years of making music, I haven't had that conversation with myself yet.
no? No. Shout out. I'm trying to recall something that you said earlier. Oh, well, I'm thinking of that. My next question for you. I'm curious. Have you gotten a chance to perform live?
Yeah, I have a good handful of times, not as much as I would like. Um, Again, most of my music presence has kind of just been like online, and you know, I got to give a quick shout outs to Soldier Boy because he's the pioneer of this. He's the pioneer of putting your music online, if we're being honest. So that's kind of where my music presence has really just been, just online. I have had the chance to perform a few times, and there's videos on my YouTube, showing those handful of moments. But I always feel like even those few times I've performed, while I do get nervous, I feel like every artist gets nervous, no matter what type of venue you're in, no matter what type of how many people are in the audience. There's always those nerves, but once you just step out there and you feel the music and you see the people looking at you, listening to you, knowing you got their attention, it's a switch. I turn on that entertainer switch. I try to engage. I'm very active. I like to involve the audience the best I can. I'm not. It's like I'm not nervous. I don't go nervous once I hit that stage. and I just have fun. I know I have fun whenever I go out there.
And out of your experience so far, what is your favorite song out of your catalog that you like, you enjoy performing live?
Talk to me nice.
Oh,
A song off my recent EP. It's available on all streaming platforms. It's called the Who Is Jules EP, and it's the opener song. It's the perfect like icebreaker for the audience. I'm able to just hop on stage. I have it's loud instrumentation. It sounds like a party. It sounds like it's ready to like we're ready to just have fun, and it's just talk to me nice. Let's have fun. It's a Tuesday night and we're gonna rock out. So that song definitely feels like one of my favorite songs to perform for an audience.
okay. Shout out to that. And my last question before we hit the half break. Uh, shit. I just had a brain fart.
I feel
Uh,
you.
let's see. Oh, here's an interesting question. When it comes to new listeners, how do you prefer for them to listen to your music as a first time listener? Is it to shuffle your music? Is it to listen to the newest tracks that's out? How do you prefer new listeners to check out?
Man, first impressions are always everything because more often than not, when people first ever hear you, they're not really listening to what you're saying. They're listening to how you say it. And then when they go back, then they care really about what you said. So I try to read the room. I know I can't introduce myself individually to every single new person, but I just hope that when people do hear me for the first time, they just, that curiosity sparks. Because the first song you ever hear from me might not sound anywhere near the next song you hear. And then that third song might be a completely different vibe as well. So it would really come, excuse me, it would really come down to the listener in terms of if that first song was good enough for a second try, then as long as they kind of keep their mind open to the fact that it's going to be different vibes, different lyrical content, and even different song structures, it's really as long as they're curious about what I give. And but at the same time, as the artist, as the writer, I have to give them something to be curious about. So as long as I'm able to spark the mind, make them think, I think if I'm able to make them think what about what I'm saying, that's enough to really open the door to be like, what else does he have?
So to answer that question, where you prefer for them to start your catalog, to shuffle it, or start off with your newest stuff?
Probably start with the newest, just because
No.
every new project that I put out, I feel like it's a better version of myself. But that doesn't really take away from what I feel about my older stuff. But my newer projects, they definitely scream this is his latest form before you jump into the older forms. So yeah,
No.
definitely newer music would be my preferred option for new listeners to check out.
No. Coming to the break time, how we feeling?
I feel great, man. I'm having a blast. You're asking amazing questions. Got me thinking about my own music and got me thinking about how long I've really been doing this and what I'm even doing this for. So I'm having a blessed time, man. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. You have no idea.
That's good to hear. I actually got some interesting connections and stuff. I will leave it up to you if you like to connect with these individuals. Uh, but seeing everything that you offer, I think these connections could work wonders for you. Shout out to our first one, One Nation. Not only he's a artist as well, but he created his own comic book slash manga with his own black characters. So if you would like to get to know somebody that's within not only an artist creating their own music, but also an author as well, uh, we can connect you with that type of person.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. No, I'm always trying to find other like-minded individuals and other people that just have passion before anything, because without passion in whatever we do, and there's no heart, there's no life, there's no heartbeat to it. So anybody that has that like-minded mentality of let's create something with passion behind it, yeah, I would love to meet them.
Okay. Our second one. This is for if you're looking for more opportunities to perform live. Shout out to Jeremy. He's starting a series where artists could perform live at establishments such as like restaurants, businesses, type of places where they have a traffic. But you'd be to perform live in front of people. So they're starting up their own series called Tap Room Live. If you would like to stay updated or check out to see what they got going on, I could definitely send you his information.
Oh yeah, for sure. I need to get my performance game up, so that'd be a blessing.
Okay, nice. Third one. This is shout out to Sound Sandwich Podcast. This is also a fellow artist as well, but this is a podcast that's centered around artists having a heart to heart with another artist.
Okay.
So if you would like to have a similar experience like this one, but with an artist instead, um, I think that would be up your alley. Um, and this artist particularly specializes around folk music, so you might find this as a good opportunity to expand.
Oh, that sounds great. Anything to expand the bag in terms of skill sets and connecting with other artists, even on that level. Yeah, yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay, and speaking of expanding, we recently just started a new series where we create soundtracks where artists could hop on to challenge our soundtracks. Our first project is mixing horror with Valentine's
Hmm.
with 10 tracks, and artists can select 3 out of 10 to participate to drop a verse. As long as it's centered around the theme, which is horror and Valentine's, you
Hmm.
can be as creative free as you want. And we encourage you to either bring chaos with your verses or to bring harmony with your verses. You can either bring other artists that will hop on to drop by after you, or you can be challenging with your verse and bring chaos with it. But if you're just interested in both, either the project itself or just getting to know the producer that produced the beats for this project, shout out to Moss, but we be able to make it happen.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a whole different type of challenge for me. I can't say I've ever done or participated in anything like that. So anything that challenges my pen game, anything that challenges my creative process, that just sounds like another stepping stone to just improve myself as an artist. So yeah, all these
Okay.
opportunities, man, they sound great.
All right. Hey, thanks. These are also wonderful teammates that I met along the way. Um, which, funny enough, it all started for me promoting them on here as well.
Ah,
Uh,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
but there is so much more talents that we promoted that you can find through other podcasts. If you're looking for, specific talents or like some artists, they especially within hip hop male artists, they be looking for a lot of female artists.
Mm.
So we came across a lot, especially if you're looking to tap into, rock itself. We have some inspiring artists that's within that field, rock, hip hop, folk music, blues. So you find some various different talents here.
Okay. Oh
And we
man.
already promoted about 200, I believe.
Right.
We're already almost promoting about 200 talents. So yeah, you got a nice selection.
Oh, that sounds great. I've actually never collaborated with any like rock artists or anything like that. So a collaboration with even a different type of genre outside of hip hop, that just sounds like another challenge, just to improve my own sound and just continue to give great music to the people.
Now, when we say rock, we're just talking about like collaborating with like a rock singer or a whole band.
The whole thing. I'm thinking collision course like Jay-Z and Linkin Park. I would love something like that where, you know, their vocalist is on the hook, I'm on the verses, and they just have an amazing band playing in the background. And just I've always wanted to be part of something like that. I always thought that Jay-Z and Linkin Park collab album was just such a phenomenal piece of like work that they just put them together and it just sounded right. So I would never want to force, my sound into another genre where it just doesn't click right, doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right. But I'll never know until I try it. So
Okay. Yeah, we promoted a few. So we got some that go from like what is it alternative? Is that a genre? Alternative?
alternative, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I
uh
think I think
yeah, alternative.
alternative would be more my alley, more at least more easier for me to kind of transition into a little bit, or at least try to mesh with.
Okay. So here's a couple ones that I can recommend. If you're looking for a blues type of sound, I believe we promote them on my podcast. You'd be the finest episode.
Okay, let me
Uh,
write these down.
uh, he go by Buddy. I-
Buddy.
Um, if you're looking for somebody within folk, this is the same guy that I was just recommending with the Sound Sandwich podcast.
Hmm.
He go by the Keysman Squash Disaster.
The Keysman, what? I'm sorry.
The Kinsman
Kinsman.
Squash Disaster.
Kinsman squash. Yeah, I'm gonna write all these down so I can look these up. Okay.
He's a folk artist. If you're looking for your female lead singer for like I would say she in between like rock and like somewhat in a little bit of metal, but given that Evanescence vibe, Samaya.
Ooh.
If
Samaya.
you're looking for the, yeah,
Okay. How,
I would recommend her.
how would I spell her name? Just that way I make sure I don't mess it up when I look for her.
So I believe it's Samiah.
S-A-M-I-H. Oh, okay. See, I wrote it with a S-E. Ooh, I'm glad I asked. I would have been looking forever.
Uh, another one. Uh, let me see. Is there any particular genre that you're looking for? You did brought up R&B.
Yeah,
Uh,
R&B, alternative, um, maybe even like blues or jazz. I
jazz.
think jazz
Oh,
would be something crazy for me to really try to experiment with.
if you're looking for a talented female artist, she could give you like different decades in her range. She really talented at switching it up. 60s, like, lo-fi or some shit.
Yeah.
But she able to, switch it up. Um, her artist name is I'm Luna Music,
Um, Luna music.
but the episode would probably just be Luna. Um, but I would recommend her if you're looking for someone that's talented that can switch up and give you like different styles.
Okay,
I
perfect.
recommend her. Those are the couple that come on my list, but if I think of any other, I send them your way.
Yeah, by all means. This is exciting. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I got Buddy. I got the Kinsman Squash Disaster, Samaya, and Luna.
Yep.
Perfect.
Um, and let me see. When it comes to talent, what particular talent are you looking to associate with or network?
Um, there's really no real restriction. I don't mind working with other lyricists, other artists that are competitive. I think hip hop is honestly the only genre of music where when two or more artists collaborate with each other, they may not say it out loud to each other, but we're all trying to write the best verse. We're all trying to, have the verse that is the most memorable or the most talked about in comparison to whoever else you're working with. So other artists whose pen game is sharp, witty, lyrical, artists that challenge me to do better, artists that even challenge me to be like, man, is the verse I wrote even good enough in comparison to what they're doing? Like, definitely other lyricists that are passionate about the core of bars, of flow, of melodies, punchlines. Just it's a competitive sport, and even though I don't collaborate too much, a lot of my music is honestly solo. The few times that I do expand out with other artists and write with them, record with them, collaborate with them, if they're in the same genre as me, if they're in the same tier as me of rapper, if you want to say it, then yeah, I want to compete. I'm very competitive in collaborations, but it at the end of the day, it's just better music for the people, because they're getting two or more artists that are just pushing each other to be better, and at the end of the day, that's just better product for the listener.
So, as an artist, if you're collaborating with an artist,
Mm-hmm.
you drop your verse first and you sent it, and then they drop a verse and they send it back, and it's some fire shit. Are you the type of person to be like, all right, I'm gonna post it for what it is, or I'm gonna rewrite it and then send it back to?
That's a great question, man. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever sent a song to someone and recorded something, and they send it back to me and then made me go, ah, damn, now I gotta re-record this. But I will say at least one time I sent something to an artist and he sent it back to me, and this is also, it's called "Lie to Me" featuring my boy Cert. He killed it. I sent him a verse. He sent it back to me, and I was like, I'm not gonna re-record it, but you know what I will do? I'm gonna add another verse. I said this was gonna be a 2-verse song. Well, sorry, my boy, it's 3 now. I can't let the song end like that, what you just did to it. But again, that's the beauty of hip hop, though. That's the competitive side that just brings out that brings out 2 or more of the best of you. It's like watching LeBron and Curry go at each other. It's you respect them as what they are. Just the better one does, the better the other one wants to do. So it just makes it more fun for the viewers, the listeners, everything.
Okay. So we got to know you a bit, as an artist. I'm curious when it comes to your other forms of content, as,
Hmm.
especially when we talk about what would you consider parody music, the DBZ bars?
Oh yeah, the recent Dragon Ball Z thing that I've started up. I guess outside of music, if for any like content that I put out, I'm passionate with gaming. Gaming is kind of like a second love for me. So I enjoy gaming. I stream on Twitch. I play games on Twitch just to interact with my listeners, my followers. But this this Dragon Ball Z stuff that I started, it was just supposed to be a one and done thing. But from the reaction that I've seen from it and the feedback that I've been getting from it, and I mean, I can't ignore it. I can't deny it, because I think that's what opened the doors for me to meet you even. So
Mm-hmm.
it might just be my new niche. It might just be something that I just kind of do on the side of my music, because I don't want that to overtake my main mission. My main mission will always be my music. You know what I mean? But this niche of these Dragon bars that I'm recreating, the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, I feel like I'm giving I'm giving people that moment that we all felt last year when it was just unfolding in front of us. Being a fan and hearing all these drop one after the other, those are moments. And now I feel like I'm giving people those moments just through Dragon Ball Z characters, and I've been having so much fun with it.
Shout out to you. And it's well respected. I will say, I think the craziest, before we talk about like your news drop with 7 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
with Vegeta,
Yeah.
but I think the craziest, pop off was Frieza. Monkeys talking out of their neck.
Man, I know people have been trying to be slick with me in the comments, talking about, I don't know how I feel about Frieza saying monkey and all this stuff. And I'm just like, hey, man, it's a character.
Mm.
I'm within
And
the
that's
character. That's all it
and
is.
that's actually his character.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything out of the norm. Out of the norm. But I do want to give a quick shout outs to my boy. This isn't just me doing all these songs. I'm the performer on all of them, but I can't give him a shout out by name. He's already told me I don't say my name because he works within the industry kind of with like Dragon Ball, so he doesn't want his name too heavily attached to it if things go a little crazy. But it's not just me. So when he hears this, he knows that I'm blessed to have him helping me. He's throwing lyrics towards me, and it's crazy. He doesn't make music, but he's musically gifted. It's actually kind of crazy to witness like some of the lyrics he sends me to try to experiment,
Hmm.
and he writes with me, he records with me. So he already told me, bro, you should get all the attention. I want people to find your music through these Dragon Ball Z raps. Just help me get out the hood. And I said, you got it, man. I'll do I'll do my best. So it's not just me. I got to give a shout out to my boy. I just can't name drop him. He's already told me not to. But it's not just me. I can't take all the credit.
No, shout out to that. I respect it. But yeah, I would definitely say with this Dragon Bars, uh definitely got potential.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm definitely curious to see, how y'all continue the series, and where we're gonna go from there. But I'm curious how they came down to selecting the characters to play who.
Man,
Did it already make sense to you, or was it more to it?
it's funny. The way it all started as a joke. He just randomly sent me like some parody lyrics that he had wrote, and he was just telling me, man, it'd be funny if Frieza said this on a Kendrick Lamar beat. And as I was reading it, I was like, yo, this is kind of funny. Like the lyrics make sense. The lyrics are cool. And then I said to him, imagine if we had AI to do this. Imagine if I was able to do some AI on my voice. And then we just kind of looked at each other like, huh? What you try to do? You know what I mean? And we had recorded the first song. The first song wasn't even First Person Scout. The first song was Not Like Us. We recorded that.
Mm.
And that's when we thought to ourselves, wait a minute, let's do something. Let's do this for real. And the character selection that we made it to, at least for us, it made sense to, put Goku as Drake, Vegeta as J. Cole, and Frieza as Kendrick because, well, first of all, Frieza's short. So that's the most common theme that I could really start off with. And
But I
mhm.
I will say this real quick, not to cut you
No,
off. It's
no.
kind of funny here, Vegeta throwing short joke. Frieza, ain't they? Wait, or I could be wrong. Is Vegeta shorter than Frieza,
I think
or are
Frieza
they about the
is
same height?
I think Frieza's shorter than all of them, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken. So Frieza just
and
being
we're
the
not counting the
pipsqueak.
hair, right?
Nah, we not counting the hair. Nah, we not. We going straight up to the top of the forehead. That
Okay.
shit crazy.
So it's kind of funny to hear him, coming at Frieza with like short jokes, and I'm just like, but nigga, ain't you like the same height, or at least like ain't you the short nigga out of the group outside of Krillin?
Right, yeah. It just the energy. I think Frieza just exudes like Black Air Force energy, and that's the type of timing that Kendrick has been on all year. So I try to think about, like, we really are thinking about the storyline that we're going with. We're parroting the lyrics from the beef, but we're also switching up some of the lyrics to tell our own story. There's actually our own story that we're developing, and it'll all make sense once we even get to Not Like Us. I know a lot of people were telling us, well, why isn't Broly part of the big three and this, that, and the third? And why, I can't imagine Broly screaming from at the top of his head, like top of his lungs, to now all of a sudden being them Super Saiyans getting neutralized. I can only watch in silence. Silence is nothing Broly knows about. He just knows yell, scream, destroy. So,
And which Broly are we talking about?
both of them. Z Broly, Super Broly, they're both just mindless animals just trying to
Now,
destroy stuff. So
now that is fair. I will say, when it comes to the original Broly, if we talk about like his other transformation, I think that might open up the door for that.
mm-hmm.
Uh, but you know, or that that's just me just talking about two sets. But that could be a funny like parody. Assuming he see Goku, which is like Drake. He just pop up.
You know what? Now that you put it like that, that's actually an angle I did not think about. That actually is a good angle. I can't even lie. I never thought of it
I
that
just
way.
thought about that shit.
That makes
Yeah, when you brought up you know, him being quiet and like soft spoken, I just thought about like the other transformation. And to be fair, they don't use it often.
right.
I think only appear there in like what one film.
I think the original Broly had about 2 films, but the thing still
That show
stands.
the original. This
Yeah.
is the original transformation. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But just the characters that we've chosen and who we're putting where, like even on Like That, where we did Future Cell, like this cell isn't the one that got bodied by Gohan. This is the future cell that won in our storyline, but it
Okay.
matches up with Future, on the original song. And even Majin Buu, people asked us, well, why is Majin Buu on the song? Well, Majin Boomin, it
Mm-hmm.
just makes sense. Majin Boomin. So we're choosing our characters carefully. We're making sure that even the lyrics that we're writing just isn't a couple of changed words and just call it a day. We've taken a lot of time on these songs. We've been recording these songs since about early February. We didn't start putting these out till March. We had 4 songs recorded by the beginning of March before the first song even came out. So we're sitting on push-ups right now. So push-ups has been recorded for about two,
Hmm.
3 weeks already, and Goku talking his shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Goku gonna be talking his shit on push-ups. Let me tell you.
I look forward to it. Now with this, my next question would be like, will we be able to predict the outcome of this series, just like in how it turns out in real life with Drake and Kendrick?
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of questioning how is Frieza going to, you know, rap on Not Like Us, and we know the lyrical content that Not Like Us was about, and just to make things clear, none of the Dragon Ball characters are gonna go down that route of what Kendrick was saying about Drake, and you know what I'm talking about. What Kendrick called
Mm.
Drake, we're not going that route because that
What are you gonna be
just.
like? What are you gonna be like? I guess it is true. Monkeys do like bananas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We're switching it up. We're sticking true to the characters' origins. We're making sure that what they're saying is actually what they would say, and there's a story it'll all make sense. Is it predictable? I don't want to say it is, but I would say some of the comments that I've seen that kind of have their angles and their own predictions, some of them are on the right track, which is dope to
No.
see. I love seeing people, breaking down what the storyline is about and what they think the outcome will be. their inputs on who should do what, who should be where. And like I read all that, and I take a lot into
Okay.
consideration. But because at the end of the day, again, me and my boy are really carefully writing each song. We're not just writing a line. Okay, next, write a line next. We'll even record a song and we'll record the whole song, and then a week later we're changing lyrics, we're changing bars,
No.
we're re-recording bars to make sure certain lines hit better. And uh, I think First Person Scouter, there was like 3 different versions of that song before it even came out. So if there's anything I want the people to know is that these songs are being very carefully constructed. We're not rushing them. We are taking our time, making sure it all sounds great. But we, at the end of the day, we've just been having so much fun. We love the comments, we love the feedback, we love the fact that it's blown up the way it has, and this has been some of the most fun music that we've made in a while.
Shout out to y'all. I think y'all got a real gem on your hands.
Appreciate it, man.
And by it's well deserved. And by predictable, I was saying like as like how the battle like ended. Like for example, after J. Cole dropped the 7 minute, he deleted and then he apologized. Like, are we gonna see Vegeta apologize?
Oh man, the comments are so conflicted. Some comments are saying, "Nah, Vegeta would never apologize." Others are saying, "We can't wait to see how Vegeta apologizes." But I'm gonna just spoil it now, man. Vegeta's not apologizing for shit. He he will
No.
he would rather die before he ever says to Frieza, "I'm sorry." So we're sticking true to his character. We're sticking true to his pride.
And my last question I gotta ask: will other people that diss Drake, will they potentially pop up as a character?
Um,
Dragon Ball's universe. Well, it's Dragon Bars.
we thought about it. We thought about even like champagne moments from Rick Ross, like who would do champagne moments, but we had to really analyze some of those other songs that that the artists that went at Drake. While they are a part of the storyline, we don't really consider them. What's the best way to put it? Like the pinnacle points of it. So we're really
Okay.
just kind of sticking within the realm of Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, and now the rest of the beef is really just about to be like Goku versus Frieza at this point.
No.
We're still writing Euphoria. We started recording Euphoria. We just got the intro down, just to kind of get a feel for it. And we're debating on how we're gonna go about Family Matters because on that second verse, Drake just snapped. I don't care what no one says. Family Matters is an amazing diss track. So we're analyzing how we're gonna do that second verse where Drake just goes off on everyone. So we're trying to see how can we make Goku just go off on all the villains that even though they haven't dropped their own tracks within this beef timeline, like as long as it makes sense and as
Mm,
long as it's hard, like I think I think the people will be happy with how we do it.
okay. And for those that's sticking, uh, well, looking forward to to the series, is there any gems that you would like to drop that they can look forward
Um, I think people are gonna go crazy over push-ups. When we drop push-ups, it's really gonna be Goku talking his talk. But me and my boy are very excited for Euphoria. We have a good majority of it written. I would say like 90% of it is written. A lot of the flow just has to be tweaked, and again, there are certain lines that in the Kendrick and Drake beef that are so personal to each other. It's how do we make this? How do we Dragon Ball it? You know what I mean?
to? Mm,
How do we turn this specific line that's such a specific punch to one another, like Drake and Kendrick? How do we just twist it into Dragon Ball? So that's been the most challenging part about it, but at the same time, it's been the most fun because when something finally clicks for us, we're even debating amongst ourselves like when people hear this, they're gonna go crazy.
Mm,
Like the Planet Vegeta's a cemetery line. Me and
mm,
him knew when people hear this line, yeah, it's gonna hit harder than motherfuck the big three, because we know what that line meant. But
mm.
Planet Vegeta's a cemetery. It's lines like that when we finally make it click for us, we know the audience is gonna enjoy it. So, Euphoria is definitely a song I can't wait for that to drop.
Okay. Uh, out of the characters that exist right now, there's Goku, Vegeta, Perfect Cell, Margin, and did I miss somebody? Oh,
Frieza,
Frieza.
yeah, Frieza.
Yeah. Out of those, who's your particular favorite character, and who's your least favorite?
Oh, Vegeta. Vegeta's my goat. Vegeta's that's my guy. He inspires me a lot in just terms of his never say die attitude, and always keep your pride, always believe in what you stand for. So even though that's my guy, and they keep hoeing him in the
Hmm.
series, they constantly hoe him. No matter how many times they hoe him, he just still stands for what he believes in. Um, but least favorite character, believe it or not, is Frieza. It's
No.
like I like Frieza now, in the recent Dragon Ball series, but out of all the characters within the list, yeah, Frieza's actually my least favorite, and he's portraying my favorite rapper, so it's kind of weird. It's almost because Kendrick is my favorite rapper, like, of all time. So
Mm,
portraying my least favorite character through my favorite rapper, it's like it's it's a weird a juxtaposition. So, but it's been fun. It's been fun.
okay.
And
Uh,
and real quick,
okay.
just the crazy part is my boy that's been helping me create these records and write these lyrics. He does an amazing Frieza impression. Like, it's amazing. It almost doesn't even need AI. So he's kind of guiding me on how to enunciate like Frieza. Like, he's gives me the idea of Frieza would say this line like this, and then I gotta perform it when I record it, and just really tap into like Frieza's just attitude. So
Mm,
he helps the process of rapping like Frieza a whole lot easier. Because if he doesn't give me the stamp of approval, then I just re-record it. I will gladly re-record it until it sounds right.
okay. So I am curious about two things when it comes to recording for each of these characters. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like you're getting a certain perspective to represent that character.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a particular scene that plays in your head when you portraying these characters?
Um, I kinda, yeah, because with Vegeta, it's been the easiest because he's just cocky. He's a little bit of arrogance, and just puffing his chest out. He's been the most fun to record, and it's something about Vegeta rapping like J. Cole that just sounds right. It's so weird. It's because it just sounds like these are the things that Vegeta would actually say. And as Goku, I think with Goku, I gotta tap into that one a little bit better, because I've been listening to push-ups on repeat, and then I come across lines where it's like, I think I gotta do this part better. I gotta do this, like, making sure that it just captures the essence of the characters. Um, and Frieza, I just think about him just being diabolical and just evil, and just causing destruction within his verses. And I think that's how Kendrick also just tried to go about it when he hopped on like that, when he dropped Euphoria. He's really trying to destroy this dude. So I definitely think about how they would be fighting within the anime as they were like rapping these verses. So I try to
Mm,
tap into these characters like mentally the best way that I can. And sometimes I'll have like maybe their fight scenes playing in the background just so I can really grasp their energy.
that's what's up. And the last thing I'm gonna bring up, when it comes to checking out your YouTube, I see that you was heavy playing Apex Legends.
Yeah.
You mind telling us about, when it comes to your gaming content and what you're doing now? What games are you
Man, I was heavy into Apex the day it came out, day zero. I don't play it. I haven't played it in over a year, to be honest, because I transitioned back to this game called it's a card game. It's called Dragon Ball Fusion World.
into?
It's both physical. People could play it physical. People could play it digital, and that's kind of where my streaming content kind of blew up because once I started playing Fusion World, a lot more people started following me on Twitch and rocking with me and supporting me, and I'm just grateful for Dragon Ball in general. Dragon Ball is honestly opening so many doors for me, both gaming, both music, just everything. So my gaming content more so is like Dragon Ball, like Fusion World, the card game. I'm passionate about it. It keeps my mind active. Shooting games get too stressful. You know what I mean? Shooting games got stressful after a while. Whereas a card game, I could just sit back, chill, and just kind of think and move from there.
Okay. Shout out to them. And when it comes to your gaming content,
Hmm.
uh, that's is the most games that you bounce between is the card game and
Yeah, that's kind of the main game I play. Really, I try to expand elsewhere where I can, but between working a 40-hour job, 40-hour a week job, and now trying to stay on top of the Dragon Ball Z saga, so that way we're not playing catch up. It's really just kind of Dragon Ball Fusion World that I've been playing just as on my downtime when I get some chance to play it. It's the least stressful game that I can play. Because again, when it comes to the Dragon Bars series, we're actually, I don't know if no one's really caught on to it yet, but I'll be happy to share it here. We're actually dropping on days that happen in the real life beef. Today is the 1 year anniversary that 7 minute drill
oh
drop.
wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like we've been coordinating this heavily. Um, so when it does start to open up to the people and they start to catch it, we dropped first person scouter on the like that anniversary. And because I knew media outlets were going to be talking about it 1 year ago, Kendrick Lamar said whoop de woo. So that's when we started our saga because we knew it's within that realm. And
Smart.
today being the 1 year anniversary of Might Delete Later, where we all heard 7 minute drill, we said, all right, bet we're going to drop 7 minute Final Flash. And I'll announce it here. We're going to drop push ups on April 19th because that's 1 year after Drake dropped it officially on streaming platforms. So we're coordinated. We're thinking about every move we make.
That's smart. Yeah, checking out your series so far. I mean, y'all got that crowd engaged, excited, arguing in the comments. I mean, if they arguing about what characters you should choose
Hmm.
first. I mean, you clearly got the
For sure.
attention. But when it comes to the creativity behind it with the bars and everything, I think y'all killing so far, and I think y'all can really take this as far as y'all want it. So I'm looking forward to your success, and keep dropping gems like that.
Appreciate
Uh,
that, brother. Appreciate that, man.
and when it comes to your as an artist as well, I think you have potential there as well. So it's nice to see that you have two different sides when it comes to. I'm not sure what you consider Dragon bars. Will you consider parody music, or
That's a good
is
question,
it?
man. It's because when people hear the word parody, they think like funny or stuff like that. Like we're not trying to be funny. We just know there are moments that just happen to be funny. Like we're not thinking, "Yo, this line will make everyone laugh." That's not really the vision. It's just does it make sense? And if it makes sense, it's either hard, funny, or both. And either way, that's a win on all different angles. So parody, I guess, could be the best word for it because it kind of is that. I just don't know how people categorize it when it comes to AI. And I know people, have their feelings about AI and stuff like that. I just want to make it known I'm not getting paid off none of these songs. None of these songs are monetized. I'm not trying to use, Sean Schemmel's voice for my own monetary gain, or Christopher Sabat's voice for monetary gain. This is strictly all for entertainment and for the love of the culture. You know what I mean? So we're walking a thin line when it comes to AI, but we're treating it with care because we love the culture, we love Dragon Ball, we love rap, and we're trying to bridge both cultures together, and I think we're doing a pretty good job with that so far.
No respect. Okay. Like I was saying earlier, I believe on both sides of the coin you have potential to take it to the next level.
Yes,
And
sir.
I think there is people out there that would be a fan of it. And like you were saying earlier, Dragon Ball been giving you opportunity. Uh,
Crazy.
so take advantage of it while we still got the internet before we go to World War III.
Right?
Uh,
Shit, man. Shit crazy out here, bro.
or the reception. So either one of those. But I would definitely recommend. Yeah, keep pushing your shit out there while it's hot.
For sure.
Uh, take advantage of it. I think you're on to something. And yeah, I would like to see how far it takes you.
Appreciate it, man. We're trying to go as far as we absolutely can. I think my biggest fear really is people only wanting that out of me. I think I'm still trying to figure out a way to make it clear, like, hey, I just picked this up for fun. It's not gonna be my only main thing because I'm still gonna put focus into my music. But if I could find a healthy balance of doing this and my music, as long as whoever finds me through the Dragon Bars are at least open minded enough to hear my music as well, then it's a win win. We're juggling the idea of life beyond this saga. We've been juggling the idea of recreating past beefs, past popular beefs in hip hop history. How could we go about doing stuff like that? But again, that's just us getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. While we're just trying to make sure we lock in on the Kendrick versus Drake beef right now.
No, oh, actually, it kind of sounds like a celebrity deathmatch.
That's a good comparison, actually, when you put it like that.
That's what it kind of sounds like. So yeah, I think y'all got potential to do something.
Oh yeah, it's been so much fun. Just the crowd reaction, the reception of it, the feedback. And I've even seen some reaction videos that,
Oh, really?
yeah, I googled, not googled, I went on YouTube and I typed in, first person scouter reaction, and there's a couple, and I saw them and I was like, oh, it's like that, like we're really, it's of that magnitude, like that's pretty crazy. And just seeing people's first genuine reaction of it, it reminds me of all of us last year, when Kendrick said motherfuck the big three, and that just opened the floodgates and everyone's wilding out and can't wait for the next. So to see us giving people those moments, it's fun. It's fun because we all know how it all played out last year. So to give people that
Now,
moment
well,
again, it's fun.
now I will like to give you a warning. Depending on how you end this battle, you might have to worry about the C slut.
Yeah, we're thinking about how we end this properly. We're trying to get the roadmap all figured out. Um, if we could just execute this right, and we're trying not to be too influenced by people saying, oh, for Meet the Grams it should be this and that, and Not Like Us should be performed by this and that. Like, we're trying to stay grounded within
Hmm.
our story, but some of the comments do be making sense, and I'll tell my boy, hey, this guy kind of has something going right here. So we're treating it very carefully, and we want to make sure each song is just each song makes you want to hear the next. If we could at least give you that feeling, then we're doing what we wanted to do.
Shout out to you. It was great to have you on this podcast.
Oh man, it this has been fun. I can say I've actually never done anything like this, and this has been great. This has been so fun.
Much love. Before you go, shout out all your platforms. Shout out anybody that you want to put on, and then drop a song out of your catalog you want the audience to
Um, my platforms, it's honestly all the same thing from Facebook to TikTok to Instagram. It's Who is Jules, WHOISJEWLZ. I'm on all those social platforms. My EP is the same thing. Who is Jules EP? It's available on all streaming platforms. And I think the song I want everyone to check out is definitely track one, "Talk to Me Nice." That's a song I get a lot of good feedback for. People enjoy that song. It's a feel good vibe. It's just kind of me talking my talk a little bit, getting into my arrogance bag like Vegeta. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. And yeah, they could check me out on all those platforms. And I definitely have an EP coming after the Dragon Bar series is done. It's untitled at the moment, but with the wave that the Dragon Bars is bringing me, new listeners and new followers, I think it'd be foolish of me not to drop an EP or something after all this is done while I have all the attention. So definitely stick around. Again, on all platforms, Who is Jules? My EP is called Who is Jules EP. Make sure to check out the first song, Talk to Me Nice, and stay tuned for the EP after the Dragon Ball Z series is over.
shout out to you. Is anybody you want to shout out?
Uh, shout outs to my boy, man. I can't say his name, but I will say MS for his initials. And even then, I don't even think he wants me saying his initials, but I gotta give respect and shout outs to my boy MS. He's been nothing but help for me on this. His selfless act of just wanting me to get all the attention and followers and listeners, just so he could see my music thrive. That's one of the most humble dudes I've ever come across, and I'm grateful I'm able to call him a friend. So for sure, shout
Shout out
outs to
to
my boy MS.
shout out to him. Shout out to you. All right. It was great to have you on this podcast. I'm looking forward to, what you got going on in the future. It seemed like you and your team got something going on. You understand the structure that y'all building. And it seemed like this is gonna take out really far.
For
So
sure.
keep at it, keep pushing it, and y'all on to something. So, show the world what y'all got.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you, Aura, man. You have a great platform here.